You've probably used an AI chatbot before, right? Well, what if I told you there's something out there that's, well, fundamentally different? Something that doesn't just talk to you, but actually acts for you. That's OpenClaw. And trust me, it's not just another chatbot. It's your own personal AI gateway.
So let's really break down what sets them apart. You know how a typical chatbot forgets everything about you the second you close the browser tab? That's what we call stateless. It just lives online and spits back answers. OpenClaw, though, it has a persistent memory. It actually remembers your conversations because it lives right inside the messaging apps you're already using every day. And here's the real kicker. It doesn't just respond to you, it acts for you.
Okay, so here's the game plan for today. First, we're going to dig into what a personal AI gateway really is. Then we'll pop the hood and see how it works. After that, we'll get to the fun stuff, the powerful actions it can take. We'll also cover the super important topic of security, and we'll wrap it all up with what's called the Agentic trade-off.
All right, let's dive into Section 1. When you hear personal AI, you might think of just a smarter chatbot, but OpenClaw is a whole different beast. It's a local gateway process, and what that means is it's a program that lives and breathes right on your own hardware, your laptop, a home server, maybe even a tiny Raspberry Pi. That gives you total control.
The heart of this whole thing is the self-hosted gateway. So picture this. It's like a central command center that you run. It plugs into all the places you chat, WhatsApp, Slack, Discord, you name it, and pulls them all together into one single conversation with your super powerful, always-on AI assistant.
So we know what it is, but how does it actually pull all of this off? Well, that brings us to its really elegant three-layer architecture. This clean design is exactly what makes the whole system so incredibly powerful and flexible.
Let's follow a single message on its journey. First, it hits the channel layer. This is like a universal translator. It doesn't care if the message came from Slack or WhatsApp, it just makes it understandable for the next step. Then, it goes to the brain layer. This is where you plug in your favorite AI model, like GPT-4o or Claude, to figure out what you want. And finally, the brain tells the body layer what to do, and the body uses a whole toolbox of skills to actually get things done in the real world.
Okay, this is where the fun really begins. Let's move away from the theory and look at what these agents can actually do. We're talking about so much more than just writing emails. We're talking about taking on real-world tasks.
All right, first up, and this one is a big deal. From a quick chat message on your phone, you can tell your agent to run literally any command on your computer's terminal. You could restart a server, manage files, or kick off a huge automation script, all while you're grabbing coffee.
And it doesn't stop there. The agent has its own little workspace on your machine where it can read, write, and edit files. You could just DM it a huge document and say, hey, give me the highlights, or you could describe a program and have it actually write the code and save the file for you. Now this is what turns it from just a tool into a real assistant. The agent can be proactive. It can send you messages. Imagine telling it to watch your email for anything urgent or to cook up a custom news briefing and send it to your Slack every single morning at 8 a.m. And the list of skills just keeps going. It can actually control a web browser to fill out forms for you. It can schedule recurring tasks so you never forget to run that weekly backup. It can be triggered by other internet services. It can even control your smart lights or securely log into websites for you using your 1Password vault. It's a lot.
All right, I know what you're thinking. That all sounds amazing, almost too good to be true. And you're right, because with this much power, there is a huge catch. And that brings us to the most critical part of this entire explainer, security. The old saying has never, ever been more true. With great power comes great responsibility.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. Let this quote from the security researchers at NCC Group really sink in for a second. The attack surface it introduces is near limitless. When you give an AI the keys to your digital kingdom, your files, your apps, your command line, you are creating a massive target if you don't lock it down.
And here's the first major red flag, right out of the box. By default, OpenClaw is listening for connections from your entire local Wi-Fi network. Think about that. Anyone on your Wi-Fi, your roommate, a guest, anyone, could potentially connect to it. That's the difference between it being your agent and everyone's agent.
So how do you fix this? Thankfully, it's pretty straightforward. Here are the first 3 things you absolutely must do. 1. Bind the gateway to localhost. That just means only the computer it's running on can talk to it. 2. Turn on token authentication. This is basically just a password for your agent. And 3. Lock down the file permissions on its configuration folder. That's where all your secret keys are stored, so you gotta protect it.
OpenClaw also has a really smart defense for the chat apps themselves. It's called DM pairing. So if some random person on Discord sends a message to your agent, it won't just reply. Instead, that person gets a unique code, and their message gets completely ignored until you, the owner, personally approve that code. It's like a digital bouncer for your agent. So all of this, the incredible power, the serious risks, it all boils down to one central idea. And that brings us to our final section, the agentic trade-off. This is the fundamental choice you're making here, a balance between total control and total responsibility.
Let's just put it side by side. On one hand, you have cloud-based agents. Yeah, the company handles security for you, but that also limits what your agent can do, and it locks you into their system. On the other hand, you have OpenClaw. The security is 100% on you, but in return, you get limitless power and, because it all runs on your hardware, complete ownership of your data. Full stop.
And that really leaves us with the big question for the future of personal AI, doesn't it? Are we going to lean towards the managed safety of cloud services, or will we embrace the ultimate power and the ultimate responsibility of self-hosted agents like OpenClaw? That's the trade-off we're all going to have to think about.